YouTube, y'all, we figured out the plot of Fantastic Four by New Rockstars. Listen, I'm usually one of those people who watch every single like series, movie that Marvel drops. But recently, bro, I stopped caring, bro. Like what's the Echo? I did not watch the little Werewolf by Night. I did not watch, bro. Like Marvel just been falling off to me, bro. And it's really sad to see because Marvel used to have me going crazy. I was buying the comics. I was doing everything. But now I just don't care no more, bro. Like, I don't know what happened. Like the movies just fell completely off. Like that Doctor Strange movie, I thought that was gonna slap. It completely fell off. Ever since then, I don't have any expectations. But the Spider-Man movies, they've been crazy. But let's go ahead and get to the video.
To New Rockstars, I'm Eric Voss, and I think we figured out the plot of Marvel Studios'
Damn,
Fantastic Four movie
my
from this official cast announcement image in this image alone. I know what you're gonna say, Voss. It's just a Valentine's Day card. It isn't even a trailer. But this image was created by an actual artist and not AI, thank God. Artist Wesley Burt. Very talented person, but someone working with Marvel Studios' head of visual development, Ryan Meinderding, who really is the visionary behind pretty much every character design that we see in the MCU.
What?
So what we're seeing here is pretty much official concept art for this movie.
Oh, that's
and
fine.
in this art, they put a number of visual clues in there for us to find and to speculate on. So from it, we were able to determine the time period, the exact year, where the Fantastic Four have been all this time, what era of Fantastic Four we're adapting, the aspects of the origin story this film will include, how they're connected to MCU history, and what it really means that Herbie is in this. And from all that, logically extrapolate what threat they're probably facing in this movie. I mean, hey, you're talking to a guy who figured out Loki from 3 seconds of teaser footage and the plot of Endgame from a photo of a cake.
This manga was made
for this. Alright, let's go. So, Marvel Studios decided to ruin Sony's Valentine's Day by confirming their Fantastic Four cast so that the internet would be talking about that instead of going to see Madam Web. Little did they know we would be obsessed with Madam Web for entirely different reasons. But in this February 14th announcement post, Marvel Studios confirmed that their Fantastic Four lineup would be Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby.
How do y'all feel about Pedro being like Mr. Fantastic? I don't know, bro. I feel like, bro, who was the dude that they had last time? John Krasinski, bro. He looked just like him. Like, I don't know why they end up switching bro out, but hey, she look. Why do she got a beard right here, bro? Am I tripping? Y'all, I'm not even trying to, bro. Y'all see it, bro? Look, listen. We just gonna keep pushing. I don't know why. See, it's my intrusive thoughts, bro. I should have never said nothing. It crossed my mind. It was right there. It was sticking out. Lord forgive me. I did not mean this. I'm sorry.
Herbie as Susan Storm, the Invisible Woman, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, and Evan Moss Backrack as Ben Grimm, the Thing. We also learned that the movie would now be coming out on July 25th, 2025, swapping places with Marvel's Thunderbolts, which has moved up to May 2nd, 2025, making July 2025 a huge month for movies, with Jurassic Park 7 on July 2nd, 2025, and Superman Legacy on July 11th, 2025.
That better be fun.
Now, I went into the Fantastic Four cast and the implications from these choices in another video, but let's look closely at this photo. Ben Grimm is reading in Life magazine, which many of you immediately identified as
they knew what they was doing.
They cover showing President Lyndon B. Johnson. We also have the way these heroes look. Light blue costumes with the 4 on the chest, the white boots. These are specific to the 1960s appearance of the Fantastic Four from Stan Lee and artist Jack Kirby. But also the film's new logo with a retro 60s typeface and the way Marvel is rendered in the style of Hollywood's historic Cinerama Dome, which opened in what year? 1963. So we can determine from this that the Fantastic Four film will be set at least part in the year 1963, which gives greater significance to the Universe 838 John Krasinski Reed Richards in Multiverse of Madness.
Fantastic Four. Didn't you guys chart in the 60s?
Yeah, Reed smiled at that. When I broke down this movie back in May 2022, I talked about how this is a reference to other Fab Four 60s bands like the Beatles, and the fact that in the 2016 Doctor Strange movie, surgeon Stephen Strange had an encyclopedic knowledge of music history and when songs and albums were released and when they charted, so Doctor Strange was just kind of using that to diss Reed. But I also speculated that it could have been a meta clue that Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four movie could be set in the 1960s, as director Peyton Reed said that before he directed the Ant-Man movies for Marvel Studios, he pitched to Fox a Fantastic Four movie that would be set in the 60s in the style of the Beatles movie, A Hard Day's Night. I've long theorized that the MCU Fantastic Four did exist in the MCU history during the 60s decade, but were just kind of seen as an obscure group of scientists scientists that faded from history as more explosive events in the MCU history, just kind of buried them out of everybody's memory. But when I theorized that from Doctor Strange's "Didn't you guys start in the 60s" line, I'm telling you, I was mocked. Like, I got people still coming after me for this. It's like Mephisto, Taylor Swift, Bendu and Ahsoka, and then this. But based on this announcement photo and the fact that Matt Shakman is directing this film, I'm almost certain that the Fantastic Four movie is going to be set at least partly in the 60s. Like,
That's
that
beautiful.
is where these characters started, and that, like Steve Rogers, they will have been displaced from time, and then they'll reappear in the present day of the MCU.
Bro, look how far we have come, bro. Like, I remember when this this end credit was here, bro. That shit blew my mind, bro. Like, now, bro, we ain't got none of these niggas. This nigga probably dead, Iron Man dead, Black Widow dead. Man, everybody got damn dead, bro. And then we got She-Hulk, we got weird looking Hulk. Man, it's just, we in a pandemic, man. We just need help. The Marvel fans need help, bro. What is happening? What is happening?
Here in the present day of the MCU.
I'm
I don't
sick.
think we're talking about a multiverse scenario where they were in a different universe. I think they were here, right under our noses, in the history we've been living in. Matt Shakman directed the episodes of WandaVision, in which the first two were set in the 1960s, and he proved himself to have an astute attention to detail when it comes to 60s production design and tone. As a sitcom child actor from Growing Pains, who grew up on the sets where shows like Bewitched were shot, this is something Matt Shakman just has a unique insight into. And that kind of accuracy is not easy to pull off. Like a different director, Matthew Vaughn, was given the same task with X-Men First Class, and when we broke down that movie recently for our X-Men Snick rewatch, while it is an excellent movie that totally holds up, the movie is filled with various historical anachronisms. Precise accuracy with the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis was obviously not that big of a priority for him. But now that we live in an MCU that has elevated precision with historical timelines, with a TVA that tracks everything from Pompeii to Alcatraz breakouts to D.B. Cooper down to the millisecond, as the governing body both for the Loki series and the upcoming huge movie Deadpool and Wolverine, Marvel Studios just can't really afford to fudge this stuff anymore.
Exactly.
When the studio's head of visual development points to two different 1963 Easter eggs in some concept art, they're setting it in 1963. But when we're talking about Matt Shakman, it's not just his background with WandaVision, he also co-created the show Monarch Legacy of Monsters for Apple TV Plus with Matt Fraction, the director of Marvel's Hawkeye. And that show really codifies the exact 20th century timeline of the Monarch organization within Warner Brothers Monsterverse with insane precision, and it explores the concepts of characters from the 1950s slipping through a rift in space-time to return decades later. So Matt Shakman loves time dilation and government cover-ups. Leaving the house this time of year can mean getting cold and wet, but if you have a Bon Charge infrared sauna blanket,
Hey, sir, shout out to you. Hey, we had to get back to the original video, though.
to save 15%. So in this image, we also have this portrait on the wall of Ben Grimm posed in an astronaut suit, which I assume they included to just have some appearance of Ebon Moss-Backrack, to confirm that he would be in this, while also signaling to viewers that the film will maintain the Thing's iconic orange, rocky humanoid appearance. Seeing Ben Grimm as a NASA astronaut is significant, because NASA suspended their manned astronaut program in 2011. Even in the MCU continuity, Sword director Tyler Hayward told Monica Rambeau in WandaVision Episode 4 that the agency ended their astronaut program during and after the blip. In that episode, like all WandaVision episodes, were directed by Matt Shakman. Photos of astronauts like this just kind of recalls a specific era of NASA from the 1960s, when America would often see portraits of astronauts like Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins, and would show up on magazines because it was important for the U.S. government to lionize astronauts as celebrities during the space race as a propaganda campaign against the Soviet Union. We should also note that the reason Life put LBJ on the cover of the December 1963 issue was because he had just assumed the presidency after the assassination of John F. Kennedy. And it might be unrelated, but X-Men Days of Future Past established that John F. Kennedy was a mutant, and that Magneto tried to stop his assassination by curving the bullet. Now, I'm not saying that JFK's mutant status is MCU canon, at least not yet, but with Deadpool joining the MCU through the TVA and meddling with the Fox X-Men film continuities, it's just kind of a historical facet that the MCU could adopt in the future. But perhaps the most important cameo in this image is this little cutie, Herbie. This is the robot handing Ben a mug. Herbie, or humanoid experimental robot B-type integrated electronics, was a character originally created for the 1978 animated series The New Fantastic Four when they needed a replacement for Johnny Storm because he was optioned for a solo film that never happened. There was an urban myth that they replaced the Human Torch due to fears that kids might try to emulate him by setting themselves on fire. That was not true, but fun fact, Back to the Future, the time machine was changed from a refrigerator to a DeLorean because they were worried kids would suffocate themselves by locking themselves in fridges. By the time Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out, they didn't really care, probably because in 2008 kids were too fat to fit in fridges. Anyway, Stan Lee pitched the idea of a robot sidekick, and this was actually Jack Kirby's final creation for Marvel. So after this point, Herbie was integrated into Marvel Comics lore, where we learned he was built by Reed Richards.
I gotta collect the old comic books, bro.
Of the Xandarians, with his function being to aid in their search for Galactus. Actually, later we learned that Xandar's computers had contained the consciousness of Dr. Sun, and he had nested in Herbie's body, using Herbie as a sleeper agent. So don't drink from that mug, Ben. No! So this early confirmation.
Fun fact, bro. I have never gotten to The Office, bro. Like maybe like the first. I only watched the first episode. It was too corny for me, bro. I was like, why is this so popular? Like, I couldn't get into
Marvel's
it.
head of visual development that Herbie is going to be in this film suggests that this 2025 Fantastic Four film might be focused on Galactus, which would line up with what scoopers like Jeff Snyder are claiming that the studio is looking at Galactus as the film's villain and that they want Javier Bardem for the role. I think the reason we can trust Jeff a little bit more on this one is that he did name these 4 actors months ago. So whatever his source was for that.
Wait, nigga, that's the wait, whoa, take it back. Wait, that's the dude from Stranger Things. I forgot this nigga name, but he was fire. Nigga, I love like in the beginning, I did not like this nigga, but towards the end, he was tough. What? This just blew my mind.
Named these 4 actors months ago. So whatever his source was for that, we also know what they're talking about when it comes to Galactus and Javier Bardem. So assuming the Fantastic Four started in the MCU as astronauts in the 60s, and that they had returned to Earth after being hit with like cosmic radiation and became the blue-suited superheroes in the 60s, where have they been since then? Again, could they come from another reality in the multiverse? No, I think it's better for Marvel to say that they existed within our continuity, that they connect to the world that we know. Maybe we're even friends with Hank Pym, and they just didn't really have a chance to be popular enough to stay within the historical record, or maybe even the government covered up their existence. I think one of their early adventures through a rift or a dimensional portal caused them to time dilate to the present day.
40,
perhaps a trip through another dimension, maybe like the negative zone, or just like an incursional rift like the ones capable of being opened by the quantum bands, because those took Kamala Khan through time within a single universe. It could have been the same thing that took the Fantastic Four through time. Now, Josh Brolin recently told comicbook.com that he's heard through the grapevine that Thanos is returning to the MCU. And in another video, I speculated that we might actually see Thanos' destruction of Xandar from Infinity War as an opening to this Fantastic Four movie. Because we might learn that the Xandarian Worldmind wanted Thanos to take the Power Stone as their best hope to stave off Galactus. The reason I speculate on that is that we know the planet Xandar had a planetary shield that Thanos would not have been able to break into unless he had someone on the inside helping him. And the only one on the inside who would help him, who would have control over the planetary shield, would have been that Worldmind. Now, the screenwriters of Infinity War and Endgame actually planned on using Nova, Richard Rider, from the planet Xandar in that kind of Silver Surfer role, the one who crash lands in the Sanctum and warns about Thanos coming, instead of Bruce Banner, which is what they ended up doing, with Glenn Close as the voice of the Worldmind in his head. So perhaps Marvel could use that plotline, a surviving Xandarian Worldmind instead of Dr. Sun as the disembodied entity living on in this little robot of Herbie, as he is canonically Xandarian technology, and Herbie is the one to open the rift to bring back the Fantastic Four to the present day to help them protect Earth as Galactus approaches. Herbie, I think, is going to be the key to it all. He's like Wally, just kind of waiting for Eve to wake up. He's waiting for the right moment to close the loop on this time slippage and bring his friends back to the present day. So, what did we learn from this photo? 1963, astronaut program, time slippage, Herbie as a potentially forever loyal Wally caretaker keeping the light on for his 4 friends, and Galactus. That's what I got from this photo for Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four. Also, happy Valentine's Day. Hey, support our channel by grabbing one of our great shirts at nerdriot.shop. It's hard to tell from this angle, but...
Man, shout out to my boy Eric Boss, man. They be cooking. They like I don't know how you do it, but every time, like, he could just see, like, a little picture like that one and start cooking. I don't know how you do it, but, hey, man, if y'all enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, and I'll see you next video. We out. Bye.